Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Leandra Costa here. We are telling your followers that you started live. That's cool. Thank you, Instagram. Instagram is telling everyone that I'm live. And I have a really cool conversation coming up today. So, if you're here now, really good to have you. Or in the future, I'm Leandra Costa. I am a Joy of Business Facilitator, Access Consciousness Facilitator. I'm also been working with the Joy of Business for 7 years now. So what is Joy of Business? Joy of Business was created by Simone Milasas. It's one of the specialties inside Access Consciousness, and it's to do with business. Talk about business. We talk about creating your business, having joy with your business, money. So there's lots of tools with Joy Business. There's a lot of classes. There's over 60 facilitators of Joy Business around the world. And I started this series of lives because it's just, I love business. I've been creating my own businesses since I was a teenager. And especially now, really looking to developing and creating more and bringing my expertise to business. And so are all of these beautiful people that will be joining me in this series of lives. Because really, your life is your business is your life, as Simone Milasas would say. And when we start to look at how we can create the business that we know we can create in the way that you are, the way that you can create, that's the gift of it all, really. So today I have Laleh Hancock. She has been a Joy Business Facilitator since I started, so even before, so even over long time. So she's coming. And we will be talking about how is it for her to create with Joy Business and so on. So yes, come alive. Let's see what we can create and what else is really possible. Lali should be here with me very soon. And let me tell her that I am here. And yeah, so if you have any questions here now, or if you're like, oh, I didn't do for the live at a time, just send me a DM with questions for futures. I'll be talking to over 10 Joy Business Facilitators from all over the world. We'll be doing some of those lives in Portuguese, which is my first language. And I'll be doing Turkish because we have beautiful Turkish facilitator. And we will have translation, don't worry. I need translation for Turkish. So, yes. What else is really possible, right? Yeah. Oh, we have some hearts. I love hearts. So, Laleh, it's here. Yes, Laleh joined. Hello, Laleh. How are you today? I've been... So let's get you on, Laleh. Let's start this conversation. Looking forward to it. Who else will be joining us? Hi, Laleh.
Hello.
How are you? Oh, I'm not sure if your internet's sketchy. Hopefully not. 1, 2, 3. You're a bit frozen there, Laleh. Now you moved. Hi, Laleh.
My internet here. Hi. The internet here has been funny the last 24 hours. I think
Oh,
we're shaking a few things up here.
I would say so. And for those that does not know, here is Croatia. where one of the most amazing classes happening with Dr. Dane, and Laleh is there actually in Croatia. Laleh, how are you today?
I'm great. The weather is fantastic, and hopefully you can hear.
Exactly. Yeah. One, two, three. Let's change this. Let's go for it. So I was, yeah, it's better now. I was telling people that, I think you being a Joy Business Facilitator forever now, even before I started with Joy Business, which is 7 years ago. And I just find it amazing that you're there. I would like to ask you to start off, what business do you have, Laleh? What do you create as businesses?
Well, yeah, actually, I have been part of Joy of Business since we were allowed to have facilitators because Joy of Business has been around a long time, but it was just with Simone Millis's facilitating.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I arrived to Access, the first for me, Joy of Business. Like finally somebody had given a name to something I had loved my whole life.
Yeah, yeah. That's very cool. You're like, what joy of business? I knew. So you started, you became a facilitator, perhaps, I don't know, not even 10 years ago. And how was it there? And what business do you have? And how did it change to now?
So, wow. Back then I had, well, technically I had two businesses then.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I first came to Access, I had one business. It's called Bella Pimo, and a consulting company that I started in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then when I first
Little,
arrived, I did a business bars. Oh, can you hear me?
you came back now. Yeah, you had stopped, but now came back. So when you first
Yeah.
arrived, we heard that.
Yeah, when I first arrived, I had a business that I still have, actually. It's called Bella Pimo and a consulting company.
Okay.
And then when I found the tools to bring bars into the mill,
Oh, bars into the mille. We are not sure what it is, but she's bringing bars. She brought bars somewhere. You broke down there. Lally. It's fun.
and I'll do it from a different location. That way we can hear each other.
Military. There we go. So now I'll say military. It's a guessing game now. What are we
Yeah,
talking
that was
about?
good. Maybe Sanel can come on and tell you the story for me. But hopefully you can hear me now.
Yes.
Um, so, there was a second business, and then it changed. As it expanded to be more global,
Yeah.
then a new business got created called Global Wellness for All.
Hmm. And is there a way that from you using the tools and knowing Joy Business, how did it change in adding more business and creating more, apart from those three businesses or more, you also an Access Consciousness Facilitator and a Joy Business Facilitator, so another business.
Well, everything changed when I chose to actually become a facilitator.
Uh-huh.
First, um, the businesses were based out of the Washington, D.C. area. So I worked with a lot of different kinds of companies, whether they were corporations, whether they were not for profits, whether they were government sector, NGOs. But the reach of client base, the services that we ended up offering, the ability to travel and go to different countries, all of that really got actually. Can you hear me?
Yes, you just got a little bit frozen.
And one of the things that I also recognized is how often it's a myth, but how often we function from I have a business, it's
Hmm.
successful,
Hmm.
why create a new one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you talk more about that? Because it is a myth and also a belief of so many people. I already have this business. Why create? Can I create? You know, for yourself, were there questions and tools that you used that you could have ease with that?
You know, at first I didn't recognize it, but I was killing my existing business to grow the other business, the new business.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, it was more like, oh, I'm frustrated because my clients, it was so difficult working with them. They had no interest in really creating change in their business. They wanted to keep doing what they were doing, but have different results with staff. And I was like, but this other business, it's so much fun. People come, they would like change. And then someone asked me, are you trying to kill one business? Because I was like, every time I want to do more with Global Wellness for All, the more Bella Pima would grow, the
Wow.
more clients I was getting. But I realized it wasn't about killing anything, it was how much the two were contributing to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And so a lot of it from a tool perspective was, what is it I really desire to create here?
Hmm. And that's
And
such a
then,
great question when you have businesses, when even starting or as you're already established with your businesses.
yeah. And for me, it's not about me making all those choices. It really was talking to the businesses,
Hmm.
actually.
Yeah.
And there is this synergy and contribution they have with each other. Now I have actually more than two businesses, which are in different countries and different things. And so, like, it also opened the door to, I'm not a person who could do one thing all the time, the same, like
Yeah.
for me, I require the variety. That's why our services, but also looking at what is required for my business in Dubai is going to be different than what my business in the US requires.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 And at some point, because I
Similar,
just want to come back a little bit to
yeah.
you have business in different parts of the world. Did you have a like, can I do this at some point? And how did you went over? Because, so many people kind of they think they can only create geographically or, only online or only in a live, different ways. How did you, when you get this little, voice here, can I create a business in other countries that's not where I was born? Or what did you do to really go, okay, yes, I can. And you did it.
Well, with Global Wellness for All, up traveling to different countries. So I would go work with the communities, with different businesses, different families. Like the services are so broad. We ended up working with different kinds of different countries. And I ended up staying in Portugal.
I
And I
remember that.
had to, yeah, I had to explore, okay, if I'm going to be here, am I going to start a business here? And the conversation started, and it actually was easier than I think most people think it is.
Hmm.
Because there are countries who are very welcoming to businesses, and they would like to bring people who have different experiences and different skill sets and different ways they can help their citizens get greater. And so Portugal is actually one that loved my background, and we started to do different things, and I was going to build a shopping mall, and
That sounds like fun. Mhm. Now you froze.
We're to be.
Now you're back.
I was just saying
You're
that Portugal
uh
was very welcoming to bring different kinds of people, and it really loved my background of business and different things that we could create together.
That is so cool. And I invited you and thank you so much for joining me and so many other Joy Business Facilitators because really the way that Joy Business function and people that work with it, it's a totally different way in business. And we actually have a class called Business Done Different. And so many facilitators and after they facilitate those classes, they're like, oh my God, even, my world has changed and this class is so amazing. And
Yeah.
tell me, for you, how is it to facilitate those classes and the changes that you see in people?
Oh my goodness. Like anyone take that class and leave that class being the same person. There's so many people who literally think they hate their business or they hate the idea of working at a company or, whatever it is, even the business of their lives. They
Hmm.
come not they when really start to explore not
Hmm.
just their parents' point of view about business or their husband's point of view about their business or their point of view. When they really start to explore, they get so excited about business. Their businesses grow. Like I've had people who came first day of class, we went through they changed so much, their business started growing that same day.
You went through what? You went through so many
Okay.
things. Yeah, now you're back.
Yeah. So I had people who, like, just from day one,
Uh-huh.
we went through the manual and asked different questions. And after facilitating them in their business, the business started to grow, even though maybe it hadn't done well for a long time.
That's
That
so
same
great.
day,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
One lady, her husband hadn't had a job in a long time. And we started to ask questions and explore different things. He received an offer the next day from his dream job, making more money than he imagined.
That's so cool. So no magical, not going over the limitations, changing that, and and suddenly something can happen. So that's the beauty of the Joy Business tools. Lale, before we go, and this is called start your new year, your New Year's with Joy Business. Is there a tool or a class that you know what, go use this tool or go do this class that you can tell us and anyone here that are not sure about Joy Business? What would you share with them and with us?
Well, we have a lot of different classes. So even like Business Done Different has an intro class or
Mm-hmm.
put the fun back in business classes, or different things. But my first question would be even ask, what would you like to create? Like if you were the one with, a white canvas and it didn't have to look like it did yesterday, what would you like your life to have? Like, because so often we make it be about the business, it's outside of us, but it's not. The business is part of your life. It's where you spend a lot of time, whether it's with your family, whether your life is a shop or anything else. And when the business first starts talking to us, we're so excited. We
Yeah.
look at all the ways that we would like to create something new or something better or whatever. And then we go through motions of trying to do the business like everybody else. And then it becomes boring. But if you really start to explore what got you excited about that job, about being a mom, about having a business that's local or a global, whatever. There was a moment of something that got you really excited.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if reconnecting to that and asking, hey, business, what can we create together now,
I love
today?
that.
Because, actually, one of my businesses that I was telling you about today, I was having that similar conversation. Have we created everything we came to create together? Because it's been around since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And, that was my question, is like, is
Yeah.
now the time to close the business? Is now the time to sell it? Is now the time to create something different?
It's almost like when Simone talks about the pulse, you say, you sense you're feeling the pulse of the business or the pulse of what you're creating. And to me, those are those questions that you brought in, what is the pulse of what's happening now with the business that you've been having for some time. And the fact that you can ask that question and be open to have the awareness of what will create more. Is that ending the business? Is that changing something? Is that adding a different energy? And now
Desire
we're
to
hanging.
look. Oh,
Okay, now you're back.
I think that something that people don't really desire to ever look at is like, is now the time for something totally different? Like, the business, you know, doesn't have to live 100 years, but can.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can. So, yeah, what would be fun? And, we have the Dubai business that's opening in January. Going on that, we do have to explore
That's so cool.
what else
That's,
is
I love,
available now.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lali. And before we
Thank
go,
you.
I know you are launching a energy pool, Joy Business Energy Pool. Is that what it is? Can you tell us
Yes,
more?
yes, yes. Well, one of the ideas that I had was the same thing of like, what if we kick off the new year with our business? So people, they disengage, it's the holidays, whatever. But what if we start December 31st with our businesses for 15 days and
Mm,
actually start to play, explore. And I've invited the Joy of Business Facilitators to come play with me.
yay! Very exciting. That's so cool. I will add any information here. And, if anyone wants to have more information about those energy pools, just, go to Lali's Instagram page and so on, and you'll find all this information. Lali, thanks so much. Even with the internet being wonky, we did create a beautiful conversation. Thank you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.